I have a secret to tell you. I've switched daily driver radios. It's inside this box. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my DarwinFpv RC channel. If you're brand new into FPV, please do join our DarwinFpv FPV community. You can check out our Discord link down below. The Discord is really popping. There's a lot of guys in there right now, and there's a ton of new sections in there for you as well. It's really expanding a lot in the last couple weeks, and it's really become like a beehive buzzing with guys, information, questions, and all kinds of cool stuff. We have beginner sections in there. We have radio, ELRS, all kinds of cool subjects covering just about the full spectrum of FPV. You can also become a Patreon if you like the community and you like what we're doing here to bring everyone together. If you want to meet new pilots, please do join our community. So with that said, let's jump into today's video, guys. What's going on? Why am I doing this video today, and why am I saying that I have a new radio? Why am I switching over? Which one is it? For the past 2 years, the TX16S right here that you guys have seen in so many different videos. This has been my daily driver. A lot of you guys bought this radio because I suggested it, and a lot of other FPV pilots out there love this radio, including Joshua Barwell, myself. I believe MadTech likes this one as well. And today, it's official. I have switched to a new radio for my daily driver. I finally transitioned over to the radio that's inside this box. And which one is it? I'm not going to tell you yet, but I'm going to tell you a few reasons why I switched over. One of the reasons was recently I went on that trip to North Carolina because my grandfather passed away a couple weeks ago, and we had his funeral last week, which was really, really nice in North Carolina. Tons of community support. Family and friends came out to support all of us. It was great. So rest in peace to my grandfather, Hal Gray. But on that trip, I had to decide what I could take with me as far as my business stuff, and keeping things as minimal as possible for that trip. That was a challenge for me to kind of downscale what I was going to take on the plane. And if you've ever traveled with FPV gear on the plane, you're probably familiar with trying to make things as small as possible, and the TX16S honestly was a bit much for me to take on a trip like that, where it was a short trip. I just in and out and only there and home for a few days. So I wanted something small and compact. I had a certain job that I wanted to do while I was home, which was filming my house for my Airbnb, a single shot fly through, which I'll show you guys later. That was a ton of fun, but I wanted it to all fit inside this bag right here, which I could put in my book bag for my carry-on. So let's take a look at what's inside this box and how you can also pack and prepare very minimal setup for an FPV setup for any type of trip overseas or domestic flight for a small, short time. So here we go. Let's open up the box. Let me show you what my new daily driver is. All right, guys, if you have any questions about what to buy, or you're looking for advice as a beginner or somebody who wants to start a new direction in FPV for any of your gear, you can check out our website, DarwinFpv.com. I have a new phone consult type of thing that you can click on. You can buy 20 minutes on the phone with me to give you advice. It has been super cool, and we're getting some new testimonials coming up on the website for that service. So now I'm going to give you some free advice. This bag right here, it includes all of my work stuff. It includes my live stream camera. It includes a tripod. It includes my goggles too from DJI. And the only thing it doesn't include in here in this bag is my drone. And I bought the Defender 25 on there for that particular flight in my Airbnb. And I'm gonna tell you why coming up in a later video. We're gonna talk about real estate video and which drone to buy for real estate recently. So there it is, compact in one bag. Goggles 2, the Boxer. The Radiomaster Boxer is finally, guys, my daily driver. It's now replacing my TX16S, because you can see I probably could have fit this inside this bag. But then again, when you're traveling through the airport, the biggest thing is like weight. You know, I don't want to carry the weight of this radio in a book bag through the airport. This antenna is also not removable, and since I have had it recently, I broke this antenna, and it's not something that I can unscrew. I have to take this whole thing apart right here to replace this antenna. So as a beginner, this is huge for you guys, because I'm able to remove that antenna right here. It has a floppy strap in the back. And recently I told you guys that I am now able to just plug in Crossfire on the back of this radio module. And this is really great. If you're brand new to FPV and you want to buy a Crossfire module, I always recommend that people buy this module right here. It has the display on here and the joystick for navigation, but it plugs right in the back. And Edge TX is on this radio. And what's so great about this is the fact that I plugged everything in here and I needed to have Crossfire on my drone for my trip. And the cool thing about Edge TX, the new version, well, Crossfire works natively on there now, and you just plug things in and it works. Now, also in this bag, not only was my Radiomaster, my Crossfire module, I also had a bunch of accessories in here. I had my goggles too, in just a ski goggles bag right here, which actually works really well. I also have my Insta360 Link camera inside this pouch, and that's nicely protected. I've got all my cables in here and some extra cables. I have a tiny kind of Emax motor case, and I still use these a lot for different types of electronic pieces and parts and adapters. A lot of times I need these USB regular to C adapters, and I brought my Defender 25 adapter as well. And this is the tripod I bought, and I also had a couple batteries in here for the DJI goggles, which was awesome. So all this stuff fits in here for my trip. And I also had a LiPo charger, and this is the Toolkit RC M4 AC. So this only charges up to 4S. Before my Defender 25, this is really all I needed on my trip, and this ended up working great for me because I can plug this balance board in there, this adapter, and I'm often charging the 2 Defender 25 batteries that I brought with me. And here's the driver kit as well in there for hex screws, bolts, and a couple extra props for the Defender 25. One extra battery lead here, just in case, and my charge cord for my M4 from Toolkit RC. So this was cool that everything fits in there. And for this radio, this profile, it's small enough that it can be stowed in a really small bag. This is basically a bag that I had for a drone. It might have been one of the Amazon drones. These bags come in handy. You can pull the foam out of these and really pack a lot of gear in there. But being as minimal as possible on your trip is a huge challenge. Like, most of us end up packing too much. For years, I used to ship 100-pound boxes across the United States with huge drones in there. And now I feel like with the technology, DJI 03, where we're at now, I don't need to do that anymore. And that's really nice. I also love the fact that this Boxer radio comes with this, it's not a TPU stick cover here. It's actually an injection molded, softer type of plastic. It feels a little softer than like ABS, but it really does protect the sticks. And as you can see, I took it on a trip through the airlines, my carry-on, under the seat, and kicking my book bag around, and this totally survived the trip. All the buttons are recessed here, except for the switches there. Recessed arm switch here, and my SF switch on this side. And it supports a simulator, which we spoke about recently. We talked about simulators on the channel, which simulator to get. If you're wondering, right now, our most recommended top simulator is gonna be the liftoff simulator, followed by Uncrashed. People really seem to like Uncrashed as well. So everything fits nicely back in this box. As you can see, this case, I have my Crossfire module, all the tools I need for a trip, and I really enjoyed just having everything in one bag. And I had it packed a little bit neater than this, but if you guys are looking for a nice radio that is compact and that's going to be a great radio for this year, I highly recommend getting a Boxer. They are in stock right now, and I think for GetFPV, they're in stock, and Banggood. So I would pick one up. It works with Crossfire without having to do anything on this radio. All you do is plug in your module, bam, it's going to work, and bind up your Crossfire receiver, set up your switches in betaflight, and you're pretty much ready to go. But guys, if you need some advice, please do jump into our Discord. We have tons of tutorials on dronecamps.com now too, explaining different flight modes. We have a flight mode series that's coming out for beginners for angle mode, horizon mode, and acro mode. We're going to give you some tips and advice on that, as well as some more complex tutorials and an FPV shopping list. So if you're wondering where to get certain drivers, which tools you need, things like that, our community is really expanding to help you guys out as beginners getting into FPV. So that's one of the big reasons right now why I'm switching over to the Boxer, is because it's compact, but it's not as small as something like the Zorro. I didn't want to bring the Zorro on the trip, mainly because it has a shorter battery life. And with this one, I can take that big honking 6,200 milliamp battery with me on a trip, and I only have to charge it one time. I don't have to worry about charging a transmitter battery on a week or 2 week trip. It will last the entire 2 weeks of all of my flying. So this worked out great for me. If you guys want to check out a Boxer down below, please use my link, and that will benefit the channel and keep the community going for you guys. Guys, I appreciate you, and I am so happy to be back this week. I'll bring you more videos and reviews coming up. Stay tuned on the channel. I'm Justin Davis. I'll see you on the next one.